All right, 2026 is clearly becoming the year for tiny cameras, and today we have got the brand new XTRA Atto. Let's get right into it. Hey friends, welcome back to the channel. My name is Desmond, and today we are talking about the brand new XTRA Atto. This is a 54-gram vlogging POV powerhouse of a camera that's capable of up to 4K 60 frames per second, and we're gonna run through it all. And of course, before we jump in, XTRA is a sponsor of this channel. They sent me over the new Atto pre-release so that I could fully test it and see how this fits into my travel content creation toolkit. So I'll just quickly start with a quick overview of the camera. I mean, this is the box it came in. Packaging is pretty good. What comes in the box is, of course, the camera itself, the camera module. This is that 54-gram tiny little POV slash vlogging camera. And then, of course, we have got their vision dock. This is where you're going to be able to monitor the feed. You'll be able to control the camera, and it also triples as a charging case as well. What also came in the box was a nice protective case, so you can drop the camera right in here. We still have those little magnetic connections. We also get a hat clip, or we also have the included hat clip for mounting on the brim of a hat, on a strap, on a backpack. And then they included a suction flexi mount, which I really like, and I use this type of mount all the time, especially if I am just trying to stick this into interesting places. And finally, of course, they included a chest mount. So you pop the camera directly onto the chest mount. You can wear this around your neck underneath your shirt. So you've got chest mounted POV shots wherever you go. And overall design and build quality, I mean, let's be honest here, this has a very familiar form factor. This reminds me very much of the DJI Osmo Nano, which I do like when it comes to form factor and mounting as a POV and kind of travel vlogging cam. So the pill-shaped camera right here and a more squared off rectangular vision dock. And combined, we have a pretty solid, clean package overall. Now, the version I have is the white colorway, which I like. I do wear a lot of white t-shirts, so it helps blend into whatever I'm wearing pretty easily. Has a nice textured matte finish, which is great. And so far, having tested it, it doesn't really pick up any scratches, scuffs, or any black marks or anything on the finish. So it's a pretty solid overall construction. Now let's get under the hood and why something this small is also quite powerful from an imaging perspective. This thing houses a 1/1.3 inch CMOS sensor, very similar to what you're gonna find in an Osmo Nano or even a Go Ultra. Also a Osmo Action 5 Pro. So you're getting really solid image quality, performance is great, dynamic range is definitely there, and you're gonna get some really crispy images. Now, one thing that I will call out, if you are thinking about comparing something like this to, say, an Insta360 Go 3S, in 2026, I don't know if that camera really holds up against any of the more recent POV tiny cameras, just because it's a smaller sensor, there's a lot more features packed into this camera, better performance overall when it comes to image quality, battery life, just generally speaking, I don't even think they're in the same category these days. This is much more comparable to the Osmo Nano or the Insta360 Go Ultra, which are much more powerful, tiny cameras. So the lens itself has about 143-degree field of view, which is great. You can shoot in 4K, 4:3 aspect ratio, giving you more of a squared aspect ratio, so you can crop into both vertical and horizontal. You can shoot 24, 25, 30, 50, all the way up to 60 frames per second, especially if you're shooting in 4K 16:9. And then of course you have lower resolutions like the 1080, the 2.7K, but I'm gonna be filming primarily in 4K 16:9 or 4K 4/3. And it also has a fixed f2.8 aperture. One thing I will call out, all the different examples and footage that you're seeing, most of this was shot in 4K 4:3 or 4K 16:9. I am using what they have as a standard dewarp mode, which gives me just a more traditional field of view. I don't love the ultra wide action camera look. And then I'm using their standard Motion Master, which is their standard stabilization, which has worked out really quite well. I'm also not filming in their X-Log. I am using 10-bit color, but I'm just filming with all the baked in colors. So auto exposure, auto white balance, I might adjust the exposure compensation. I like to do -0.7 when I'm shooting with smaller cameras like this, just because I wanted to dial down the exposure to reduce noise overall. So that stuff out of the way, let's just talk about some of the mounting options and why a camera like this is great for travel creators like me. First of all, as I mentioned, 54 grams, this thing is ultra tiny. And because of that, it means mounting it on my chest via the chest mount is really easy. You barely feel it there. Mounting it on top of my hat is, again, incredibly simple. And then I like to do some talking head stuff when I'm driving or I'm out and about and I want to get shots of myself. The suction mount is really, really quite useful. Also, the DJI accessories all work with this. This is basically a DJI action mount. But the other thing that's nice, very similar to the Osmo Nano, magnetic back and magnetic side. So I can easily mount this to any metal surface so I can film myself wherever I'm going. That same magnetic mechanism is also on the bottom of the Vision Dock, which is really helpful. So if I've got this mounted and I want to just mount the Vision Dock so I can remotely monitor the feed, I can do that really easily as well. And it is worth calling out that the camera module itself is waterproof up to 10 meters. Obviously the Vision Dock is not, but if you are planning to take this into the ocean, if you're planning to take it near any body of water, weather, just disconnect this from the Vision Dock because the Vision Dock, again, not waterproof. Stabilization on this is pretty solid. They've got a couple of options. They have their standard like Motion Master. That's just what they call their stabilization. And then they also have Tilt Guard, which really is horizon leveling. So no matter how you kind of tilt and move, you're gonna have a pretty solid locked off horizon. That's, again, great for POV action camera style shooting and filming. All right, so we're gonna actually jump over to the Atto for this part of the video because we're gonna talk about the internal audio. Now, the Atto does not support wireless microphones or external audio sources. Really, the philosophy they talk to me about is it's designed for convenience, right? So being able to just turn it on, capture really great high quality ambient noise, and it's designed a lot less for professional style interviews. With that said, I actually think the audio sounds pretty solid coming out of the camera straight away. But obviously we're here in a controlled environment, so hopefully my voice sounds pretty good. But I'm gonna show you a couple of other clips where I'm filming out and about at the zoo. I actually really like the quality of the ambient noise that it's picking up. It's still crisp. I'm also gonna give you an example of what it sounds like mounted inside a car. So just keep that in mind. No external audio support, but I'm pretty impressed so far with the internal audio, and you just need to keep it in mind how you're gonna be using this camera. Just a quick onboard mic test and maybe some dynamic range, but shadows, highlights, and hopefully you can hear we're only using internal audio. Flip this around, and now we are filming in pretty much direct sunlight, so let me know how the sun looks, the flares, how's everything doing. But yeah, I'll give you a quick spin. Obviously now we've got sunlight facing me. Dynamic range test should be pretty solid overall. And again, right back directly into the sun. Onboard audio hopefully sounds pretty good. I did not find any wireless microphone setting options in my initial test of this so far. So at the moment, no external microphone support. All right, so first initial test of the XTRA Atto mounted in the car. We're just doing a quick drive, just finished up at the gym, heading home to start a full day of work and all that good stuff, but a few things that we're testing right now. First of all, this is set to 4K, 24 frames per second. I have this in the 4:3 aspect ratio, so closer to a square means we can probably cut this both for vertical and horizontal video. So right now we're just gonna test the onboard mic, which I think a lot of people will wanna know. It's quick, it's easy. I was able to mount this to my windscreen with the included suction cup mount. It has the same mounting system as the DJI Action cameras, which is also great. And lighting scenario right now, obviously, it's pretty consistent because it's sunrise right now. So it's about 7 a.m. in the morning. I finished a 6 a.m. workout when it was still dark. So the sun is coming up. And right now we've got pretty consistent lighting across the board, which is perfect. And then let's spend some time and talk about the Vision Dock itself. So again, you can see it here, form factor is pretty solid. I do like that both of these cameras look like independent pieces. They are both complete modules. When they are separated and combined, they make this thing. But the Vision Dock, it's the central hub for the camera, right? It has 3 primary features. First, remote monitoring. I can disconnect it, and of course, as you can see here, I have a remote feed of everything that's happening on the camera. This remote feed also stays live even when I'm recording, so I can be recording on the device and still have my remote feed. I can see all the things. The next function is, of course, a battery pack. So the Atau has advertised a 90-minute battery life when it's disconnected from the dock. When it is connected to the dock, you're getting about 200 minutes. I'm gonna go ahead and just say this with a caveat. Every time I review small cameras like this, those numbers are probably based on filming at lower bit rates. It's based on filming at lower resolutions. I'm filming in 4K, 24 all the way up to 60 frames per second. I'm filming in the highest possible bit rate. So if you are someone like me who's filming at the highest possible image quality, I'm not sure 90 minutes is realistically what you're gonna get. And the third purpose of the Vision Dock, again, much like an Osmo Nano or even an Action 2 way back in the day, is this has expandable SD storage. So in the Vision Dock, I can add a micro SD card up to 1 terabyte of storage. And of course, when the internal storage on this one has 128 gigs. So when I fill up that internal storage, I can quickly connect it to the dock itself and then transfer all the files into my 512 or 1 terabyte micro SD card, essentially giving this a lot more storage. With that said, I do like the fact that this camera comes with internal storage. I am someone who does tend to forget like micro SD cards in my machines, especially when I'm doing editing. I forget to pull it out and plug it back in. So the fact that I've got 128 gigs of internal storage is really helpful. And of course, if I do remember my micro SD card, much more expandable memory. Again, I do want to call out, being completely transparent with you, I found the same fault when it comes to the Osmo Nano, which has a similar system, is it does take time to transfer files from the camera directly to the micro SD card. That's not the most efficient way to transfer files, but just know that if you want to transfer a bunch of files from the Atau itself into the micro SD card, there is going to be some loading time. But good news is if you just connect this directly to your computer, you're gonna get about 600 megabytes per second of transfer speeds, and that's more than enough to move files around. So depending on your use case, depending on your workflow, those are details that you need to keep in mind. And I'll also mention that the Vision Dock does have quick charging, so you can power up the XTRA Atto and fully charge it in about 40 minutes. So you get an additional 90 minutes of filming just with a 40-minute charge plugged into the Vision Dock. The way that I use it is I film mostly with the Vision Dock connected, and when I need to do POV, as soon as I'm done, I slap it back onto the Vision Dock, so it's constantly charging. The nice thing too is the way that these systems work is the dock will always top off the camera. So the dock will run out of batteries before your camera does. So if this thing dies, you've still got an additional 90 minutes or potentially less, depending on your file formats and your resolution. So this is always going to die last, which is good. Now, in terms of smart features and functionality, what I do like about the Atau is if you change it in your settings, you can get up to 5 minutes of pre-recording. So that means once I hit the little button, I've got 5 minutes of pre-recording that's happened prior to that, which again, can be quite a battery drain, but if you are someone who really needs a safety net, yes, you can totally do that. The other things that I do like, because we want to kind of keep this hands-free, is there's a couple of settings you can do here. First of all, hands-free controls, you can have this mounted to your hat mount, and what you can do is give it a quick nod and it'll start recording. Or you can have it set to a quick pat, so you just give it a couple taps and it'll start recording as well. I like those, pretty solid features. But if you're someone who likes to mount this to your hat often, that nod functionality is a good add-on. And probably just a bonus benefit, this works with all of my DJI accessories. So I've got the battery mount here, I've got different things that I purchased over the years for all my DJI cameras. It works with the Nano hat clip and the little suction mount. So if you're someone who has a lot of other DJI cameras and a lot of accessories, just know that this will work seamlessly with that entire system. Okay, so that is my initial walkthrough of the XTRA Atto. I'm gonna do some more testing. I mean, I love this form factor when it comes to cameras. In 2026, the amount of power that they can pack into these little things is pretty incredible, and you know, I'm excited for more to come this year. But if you guys like this video, hit that like button, subscribe for more videos just like this. I will catch you all in the next one.